Let's just start out really quickly by talking about the title of this PSP game, which we're here to review today. And that's Tactics Ogre, Let's Killing Together, which is probably the most huggable title ever. So nice. Oh,
if you say so.
I'm going to stand here all the review.
Please do. The thing is, I'm still kind of confused as to what it really means, but I've just chosen to ignore that.
Yeah, just let's play together, let's hug.
Yeah.
But it's a classic tactical RPG released originally for the Super Nintendo.
Yes.
And now it's back on the PSP. You've been amazed by it.
I have.
You see it, the huggable glitter in your eyes.
It should be said that I was one of the two people who actually played the Japanese version and everything. Not the least because this is actually where the whole genre started. It's not Final Fantasy Tactics, which some people seem to think.
Very important nerd trivia.
Exactly.
Get it right, kids.
So yeah, it's a remake done by actually a lot of people from the original team, which is kind of amazing because not the least Matsuno has just done some amazing work since he's the guy who led the development on Vagrant Story and really cool like special Square Enix games like that. But they have gone back to the original game, and that could sound like a bad thing because the original game really was extremely complex. And since then, a lot of things have happened with the genre, not the least Nipponichi coming in and just kicking the whole genre in the balls with Disgaea.
But penguins on top.
Yeah, exactly. But they have gone back, taking all the best stuff from the very first game and kind of matured it and taking it up to speed with some really clever ideas.
Like what? Like what sets Tactics Ogre, Let's Hug Everybody, apart from other games in the genre like Final Fantasy Tactics, War of the Lions, and...
First of all, it's got an extremely deep story with just tons and tons and tons of dialogue. Actually, the good written sword of dialogue. Not the least because Square Enix have actually gone ahead and translated the original script from the original Japanese script again for this very version, and that means that you get the best story, of course. Also, the development team clearly noticed that there are a lot of things actually scaring new customers away from this kind of game, but because it is extremely deep. The first thing you will notice is the Chariot system, which is actually kind of the same system that we have seen in other types of genres, not the least Prince of Persia, where you could actually rewind time. So because this is a chess-like tactical game, you can actually go ahead and turn back time 50 moves. And it sounds like a cheat, and it kind of is, but it also means that every time you lose a character, because characters can die for good in this game, you can actually rewind time, and you can rewind time like 10 moves and actually see which move you used on the individual character, and you can do it over again, and that will set up the fight in a whole nother way, and you can use and abuse it all you want. Also, they have changed the whole class system. So instead of just leveling up the individual characters on your team, you're actually leveling up their class. That means that if, for instance, you have a soldier that dies on the field, you don't have to get a new soldier and level him up all from start again, because his whole class has been leveled up.
Well, that was always a problem in games like Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, for example.
Exactly.
When you got a new character and you were really excited and it's level 1.
Yeah, and you had to power level them all the way.
Also a problem in this game.
Yeah, but it's such a minor little detail that just completely changes the game. Also, they have balanced how many magics each individual character can take into a battle, of course, and added just a bunch of new techniques like special finishing moves and everything that just makes it even deeper, but in some weird way also makes it more approachable for new players.
So it's my favorite of the tactical RPGs is still Final Fantasy Tactics Advance for the GBA.
Yeah.
How does it compete with going back to the roots of the genre? Does it kick the ass?
That's the amazing thing. It's it's so much more than every other game in this genre. I would say that the only game that can still compete with it is Disgaea, and that's only because it changed the rules on so many accounts. That being said, Tactics Ogre, the PSP remake of Tactics Ogre, is by far the best game this genre has ever seen.
Those are big words, my friend.
That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it because it still has the depth. You could just waste countless hours on it, and meanwhile they have done a good job of actually making it approachable for new players, and that is just like two pieces of a puzzle that usually doesn't fit together at all. So
here it clings together.